Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Rita Valente, and this is Women Manifesting Dreams. Before I go to my beautiful Ellen, let me talk about something that is made for you watching this. If you are a woman and you want to manifest dreams, and majority of people watching this are women 40 plus, coaches, mentors, healers, United States, Europe, all over the world, to be honest. You are sick and tired to pay high ticket coaches. Even I lost my voice. I have been there. And I have been there in both sides. So, and you want visibility, you want to sell, you want to find clients, you want to figure out the algorithm and to kill the tech monster, all of that. Me, and the wolves, that is our community. We are hosting a summit, 7 Days Business Revolution, that is 100% free, even though I don't like the word free, I like the word open. Free for you to join as well. You can join in our community. Used to be my high ticket. I'm opening my community. You can join us on Tuesdays. You can join for co-creation calls on Wednesdays. For magical circles, we're tapping an EFT. And you can be part of a community of badass women who are changing the world. And why? Because I believe in giving, 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 and then the universe gives to you. Long introduction. It's part of the drill. Helen, my love, how are you doing?
I'm good. It's so lovely to be here, and it's so exciting to hear about your work.
Thank you. It's so
I
exciting
love
to hear about you.
you. Thank you
So
very
let
much.
me start with a loaded question.
Mm.
Who are you and what do you do?
Okay. Well, I'm Helen Gormley. I'm based in Ireland, but like you, I can reach people all over the world thanks to the wonders of the internet. And what I predominantly do is help people with food and weight issues. So the likes of obesity, disordered eating, food addiction, binge disorders, that sort of thing, and really help to free them from the shackles of food and help them to move on then in a life that serves them best, that is best for them.
Mm, it's so interesting that you are talking about food. I I'm a very raw person, and I don't think vulnerable is the correct way to do it, but I like to tell things as they are. So I want to bring something to the table. I was no, I am. I did give birth to 5 kids. I used to be a model for many, many years, and I used to. I don't know. I don't. In Ireland, you use pounds, right, instead of kilos.
Yes,
Yeah.
we use
Okay.
pounds
Okay.
and
Good.
stones.
Okay. 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 So and on the last almost 4 years, I have been on a journey of healing at the same time of hosting a community. Can be interesting. But with antidepressives, I start gaining a lot of weight. Then that kind of spiral, because I'm that kind of person who never did get weight. Obviously, I'm 44 now as well, so there's all things to come to a lot. But I want to talk about that. And I want to talk about something really interesting. Then is and I'm going to go back to that as soon as I arrive to Europe. There is I lived in Mexico, and there is like these natural pills from papaya. And
Mm.
that is not even the point. The point was when they sold them to you, they told something really interesting. They told, point one, you need to drink a lot of water, what I never did. And when I didn't walk, you spend a lot of hours on the toilet. That is another story. But what I want to say is they uh, made you, before you take each pill, and it's natural pills, no, it's no handmade at home. And they made you ask yourself, or allowed yourself to release what was not serving you anymore. I am 100% sure that during one time I did gain weight, and I have like 10 extra kilos and I could lose. And but when I'm ready for that, and I'm going there in a second. For a time, I had the weight of when I was pregnant because I was
Mhm.
holding to the memory of the pregnancy.
Yes.
And then I used that and I lost it very fast because
Mm.
the intention was much more powerful than any other thing. And then now I know is a protection skill because of some moments that I had on South America. They make me scared of being seen with like I normally used to dress or whatever. Let's put it like that. So, and sorry for like hijacking your podcast, but
Not at all.
I really believe then whatever you believe you can and you cannot is always right. And I
Yeah.
want to pick your brain because I believe then you can even maybe I'm saying something really weird, and please back me up on this. But
Mhm.
if you point one, you need to understand. Obviously, there is hormones and there is thousands of medical things. I'm not so I'm aware. But there is moments in life that we can get out of weight or less in both sides of because we want to hold to something. And
Yes.
I would love to listen what you think about this. I don't know why, but I felt entitled to share this with you.
I'm so glad you did because this is something that a lot of people don't think about when it comes to retaining weight and releasing it.
Mhm.
And what you've hit is the nail on the head. What I do with people is address the root causes. And for so many people, I mean, a huge number of people, we can think to ourselves, I don't want this weight. I don't want this excess weight. I want to release it. I want to get rid of it. Why is it still here? I don't want it. It's not serving me. But it is. It's serving something
Mhm.
that not wanting to be seen. We know that certainly in the society I live in, I know where you live, that people who are carrying excess weight are seen less than
Mhm.
people who are seen as slender.
Mhm. You are making me cry. I just
Ah,
had this. I know. I had 2 or 3 moments living in South America as a woman and as an European woman, and this is please nobody do it whatever you understand with this is a reality. You are different than majority of people, and I was always a person who had I was Playboy anniversary cover when I had 5 kids already. So I and here I felt because of some episodes and some scary moments that I had. So I went from being on my weight to having the weight of my pregnancies because I was away from my family and then lose it and then get scared of because people did start looking to me and I felt unprotected and I put that weight again. And because I have that conscience, I know that in a moment then I land in Europe, I will allow myself in any kind of process, and we can talk about process in a second. Any kind of process, sometimes just drinking 3 liters of water a day, then I don't never drink. But I want people to understand that if you have weight, there can be thousands of explanations, but as well, there can be thousands of reasons.
yes.
And I just felt compelling to talk with you about that when you said that, because I'm so sick and tired of people advertising diets.
Yeah.
And I'm a big manifester, for good and bad, but I'm a big manifester. And I just believe people are not honest enough with their full powers. People don't know the power they have on them.
Mhm. That's so true. And I think that's really what brought me to my work was I too was sick and tired of seeing unscrupulous people selling a diet. It's not about a diet. The food is such a small part of weight and food issues. It sounds ridiculous. It's like, but it's all about the food. No, it's not. It's
No.
such a tiny part. But what you've talked about is the bigger part. the root causes. And yes, there are medical issues and so on that can have an impact on people. The greatest impact that I see as a root cause for people of their weight, of their food issues, is trauma.
Oh yeah.
It's those scary moments that you mentioned.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. And
it's that.
you think like in special women who went through a lot of abuse because they were seen as beautiful, sexy, or this or that. Um, you can totally do that to
Mhm.
protect yourself. Like in many marriage where the relationship is not good and one partner is looking for having intimacy with the other one, let's put it like this, intimacy with the other one, and the other one doesn't want. You see that.
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh yeah.
it's very interesting because people say, "Oh yeah, they are married. They get," and it's there is weight is like a armor to
Yes,
put
that's
on.
exactly what it is. hmm
So
That's exactly what
I
it
was
is.
not expecting when I jump on this call for
Mm.
this to be such important message. Then I don't think I always talk about everything, but I don't think I ever did really talk about this. But people need to talk about this because people need to know they have more power than they believe they have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
So
and you have that realization, you know that, and you know that link,
I
but not
know, and I
everyone
know I'm
does.
getting there in 2 seconds because I did it before. I don't know in pounds again because all is complicated. I lost 7 kilos in 7 days. Okay. I start feeling my gums like I start feeling like I was getting out of balance because it can be super addictive as well. And
Yes.
please God, I'm not saying for anyone to do this. This is my experience, and I'm crazy, and I did use my strategies, and I don't sell that. Okay, this is my own experience, my own vibration, my own stuff.
Oh yeah.
Now, and please don't do that because you. But I did not stop drinking my wine. I did not stop eating things. Then you say, oh, no, 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 count your calories. And it is very interesting. It's something else. I'm hijacking your podcast. It's very
Not at
interesting,
all.
something else. I'm that kind of person, and now let's be more 3D. I'm that kind of person who can fast. If I'm working, I don't know, if I'm always working, but I don't feel that is work. If I'm doing, do you believe then if someone doesn't come to me to tell me that I need to eat, I will not eat. So
Mm.
I'm that person. I don't feel the need. It's not that I feel bad at all. I can fast for long periods of time if I'm busy. I am a big eater on the night. And
Mm.
everyone say, no, you cannot eat on night. It works for me.
You do what works for you.
100%.
Yeah.
Like now I'm going to shut up. Please bring on.
But what you're saying is so interesting and so true because what you've touched on there is the individual aspect. So we get these rules, don't eat at night, don't do this, don't do that, but it has to be personalized to you. You have to go with your own body clock. If you tell someone, oh, you have to follow a diet but you can only eat during the day, and they're doing night shifts, well, that's not going to fit in with their life. What are they going to do? Starve? you you have to fit in with the person's individual life and their individual root causes. So I would love it would make my life so much easier if one rule fitted everyone and I could just hand out a diet, hand out rules and guidelines and say, just follow that, everything will be perfect, no problem at all. But life doesn't work like that. Everyone is unique, everyone is individual, and everyone has their own root causes. And it's really important to address those. If we don't, we are missing the key link. Any diet will pretty much work for most people, and you can release a bunch of weight, but you won't keep it off long term, and you'll be in that yo-yo cycle and what that does to us mentally as well as physically.
You're failing, you're failing, you're failing, you're
Oh,
failing, you're failing.
absolutely. It just wears us down. And actually, that's where a lot of people come to me where they don't really believe that there's another solution because they've heard it all before. They've done it all over and over.
Mhm.
But what chances are they haven't done is looked at what's individual and right for them, not what's right for your neighbor or your sister or anyone else, for you.
Oh my God. You know what you are telling me? Like, um, this is exactly why I shift my business. You will find the connection. I was I was a high ticket coach, group coaching, because like I said on the I was telling you on off, I work a lot in
Yeah.
the American market.
Mhm.
And I have my strategies, and my strategies work because, look, I'm having this beautiful conversation with you. We're impacting other people. That grows your brand, grows my brand. We grow together. People respect it, whatever. And they come and buy from you. But then when it's time for you to deliver strategies and you are coaching them, what I do, and I grow my business with Facebook only, organic only, exactly how we did connect. No? Now, what works for me doesn't need to be exactly aligned to you. So that was where it came to my idea of doing summits, where I can bring a lot of different people talking about a lot of different things. And the person, we are talking about food, and the person who's watching can have this buffet all you can eat and create their own dish, create their own thing that feels aligned to you. So this is so true in business like it is in food and probably in thousands of other things. But I always do this, like I create this buffet of food and I never did like realize. And I never did think about talking about weight. Um, and I am a person who have a superpower of deeply for the worst reasons, but deeply believe in me, in my capacity. And I know in the moment that I land and I'm feeling safe, I'm ready to drop it because I feel better without some extra. And we can fit better in other things. But that is the point, is like that is so gold because it's so easy and it's such a difficult thing to do because you go and you buy some pills because you see an ad
Yeah.
and even if you saw your friends taking that doesn't mean then you work with you. That is why I deeply believe then that's papaya pills that I took, they're really good. I don't know what they have inside. I know they are made naturally, but it works. So not so so nice because we spend hours and hours on toilet. That is another story. But what I know was powerful, at least for me, was the every morning and every night when I took them, I had this intention of I'm safe for me because I'm I am allowing myself to feel good, to feel beautiful. I'm not in danger anymore. And but for that, you need to understand why you have extra weight.
Yeah.
Sometimes, sometimes even if you live in a family where everyone is overweight and you are the only skinny one, or your friends are all overweight and you are the only skinny one, right?
Yes. That that sort of issue comes up a lot where again the weight is a protection, not just from unwanted attention, but it makes you part of the community you're in. So if all your family members or a lot of them are carrying excess weight and always have, or you always bond with your friends over big meals out or snacking or whatever it may be, a food related thing, then it can feel like you're going to lose all of that.
Yeah.
Or if you and your
Or
friends
they can look to you with, for some people, I don't really carry that, but with some people, I really don't want other people to think bad or say something bad against them. And as well, there is another part of the thing. The more weight you gain, the better, the worse you feel.
It's that cycle. It's that cycle.
Wow.
But
I was not expecting this conversation. I'm in love, Ellen. Keep going. Now, bring
I,
on.
I
Bring on,
love
bring
it.
on, bring on, bring on.
But it's getting to the root of it, you know. It's I could I could come on here and just talk about food and this food's better than that food and you should eat this and you should eat that. It wouldn't be getting to the root of the issue. And I think what we're talking about today, there's going to be someone and probably many people out there that are ready to hear this, that are ready to hear that once they start to look at the root cause of why they're holding on excess weight or why they have issues with food,
Mm.
weight may not be an issue, but food could be an issue, that they can start to work on those root causes and release them.
That is another thing. Oh, we're ticking here a lot of boxes. Um, and people talk about comfort food, but I want to go more specific. Um, I I don't have it that yet. I used to have, so I'm Portuguese. I grew up in Africa. And even though I grew up in a cocoa farm, I had no chocolates growing up. So guess what? When I became an adult, even though I was a teenager mom, I eat loads of sugar. Then extra, there is emotional thing that I had. My grandma, when I was little, always when I was in bed, but it doesn't make a lot of sense because I brushed my teeth and then I was in bed. She always brought me, and it's not promotion to the brand. She always brought me milk with Nesquik. I think you have it as well.
Yeah.
And do you know Maria, the Maria cookies with,
Oh.
yeah, Maria cookies with butter inside. Don't ask, it's a Portuguese thing. And or chocolate or some like little
Hmm.
ladybugs. It was
Hmm.
the shape of them, ladybugs cookies.
Hmm.
So me, not so long ago, when I'm very, or when I was, I don't have that now, but I was nervous and anxious. I went back to drink the chocolate milk and the cookies.
Yeah.
And just one day I was like, oh, I see what I'm doing. I
Yeah.
see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of memories and connection. There is a reason why we say then we love the food of our grandma or our mom or right.
Yes.
And another interesting thing is so I'm totally hijacking your podcast, but just I
It's
had a
good. It's good.
time in my life like 10 years ago. Mhm. Mm, a little bit like 9 years ago, where everything in my life was out of control. I was not overweight. I had like 57 kilos. It's not very different. And I found this documentary about juicing. So, and it is very interesting. Cultural wise, in Portugal, there's two things that Portuguese people are scared, many others: cold and fasting. Because grandmas are always saying, you cannot spend so many hours without eating, right? So I went fasting with juice, and in day number, because I felt and since everything around me was out of control, I didn't want to control something. And from juicing day number 4, I felt like this uplifting feeling. I was fasting, but I was juicing. So it's not such a hard, it is a hard fasting, but okay. Um, and then I start fasting, and then from fasting, I start wondering. I did love to eat meat, so I went full vegan mode. Then I could not handle the vegan mode, so I became vegetarian. Then 7 years into, I start eating fish, and today I'm very flexible in what I eat. If I feel that I need meat, I will eat, but it's not my normal because meat normally fails. But when I became vegetarian or vegan or whatever, I learned so much about me. and it expands so much because I started eating broccoli and avocado that I never did eat, and spinach, and you name it, like being creative and doing cheese of almonds and
Mhm.
all that kind of cool things. And that did give me a superpower. So if you tell me that I felt much more healthy, necessary, but the superpower of knowing more and expanding my palette, or
No,
like, yeah.
palate, yes, absolutely.
Um, and finding another part of my life, then I could be creative. And as well, understanding what I was feeding myself with more conscience.
Yeah.
And I just believe that food is such a food is not food.
No, it's not.
It's
It's tied
so
up in so much,
so.
it
What
is.
what 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 do you have for us? Like what you do with to people or with people? What how do you who's going to you?
Mhm.
And let's start by there. Let's break it in parts. Like I always say, let's eat the cake in small slices. So who's your
Start
people?
at the
What
start.
is going on? Yeah.
Yeah, so people come to me for different reasons. Um, Often it is the outward manifestation that is annoying them of the excess weight, that they can see that. Not everyone has excess weight. Some have issues with food that they're really trying to control.
Like
And
an addiction to
yeah,
eating or addiction to a certain food.
yeah, usually addiction to certain foods, or it could be binge eating where they just cannot stop eating. For some people, they can't stop eating anything, but very often it is certain foods. So really the first step is to start to find out what their root causes are, what's at the root of this, such as health issues, such as finding out is it food addiction, and there's ways to do that, to find out just how it is manifesting. Is it binging? Is it purging? Is it restricting?
You
Is it
say
all of those?
manifesting, what is the connection there?
Say that again.
When you say manifesting, like, oh, do you like I understand, and it's my perception. When you are eating and you cannot stop eating, there is a full anxiety inside of you and full. Then I at least when I eat, my body needs to calm down. So is there normally, right? There is.
That's how your body should work. That's really ideally where it will have enough food and it says stop eating. That's enough. That's enough for me. But with food addiction and with people who have issues with food, what a lot of people will find is, and there is a medical reason for it as well, where there is not that switch to tell them to stop. It's insulin and leptin resistance. So it's a combination of those
Oh,
two.
okay.
That's what can really interfere with it. It stops that. There's a normal cycle of when you eat and you gain weight and your body tells you stop, time to move.
Mm-hmm.
You move, you go, and you release the weight again. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
there's that natural little balance, and it happens so quietly that you don't even notice it for many people in their body. But
Mm-hmm.
when something interferes with that, such as insulin resistance, in some cases, people will find that there's not that switch off. There's nothing telling them to stop. They can feel overly full, they can feel uncomfortable, they can be sick, and they still won't stop. And, so there's that physical part of it, but there's also then the emotional part of it,
Mm-hmm.
where it can be eating to excess to hurt ourselves, to punish ourselves, to comfort ourselves. And it is, like you mentioned, the food with tied up in the love of your grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
There's that where food isn't just food, it's used for so many different things. And it can be really tied up in love and comfort and memories. And so when you've all of that thrown into the mix, you've got the physical and you've got the psychological. And what I can help do is untangle that little ball of wool that is a mess and untangle it to help people address what their root issues are and start addressing it one step at a time with the food plan that's right for them at that moment in time, with what they want to achieve and what's stopping them, what's holding them back. So it really is like unraveling a ball of twine that is all tangled up and it
Mhm.
feels like such a mess. How do I get to the what is going on here?
Mhm.
But it's just knowing the little subtleties to unravel that. And it's individual for everyone. There are common threads that I see through a lot of people, but it's individual to everybody.
It's it's beautiful then we are talking about this because I told on the beginning then we do 7 days business revolution, and everyone when they hear the title of the summit event movement, whatever you want to call it, they think about visibility. I coach a lot, and yeah, viral offers and how to tame the monster of tech, how to make 6 figures using 4 apps, so like Calendly, Zoom, and Facebook and Stripe. But what is really there? It's a lot of opportunities to heal and to understand. Then strategies are not going to work and your business is not going to go to the next level if you have things to heal, or especially in this time, then we need to be like showing our face and our body. Many people don't feel comfortable with that because, and I'm really proud of me to be talking about this right now, because I think like I I know I have been seeing people who used to know me 4 years ago. So like, what did happen to you? It's like, yeah, life, but as well healing. And now what I want to say to this is talking about food is something then majority of us, if we don't feel beautiful in shape, young, that's another part,
Yeah.
energetic, we cannot take our business. And when I mean business, it's about our mission more than any other thing in front, because we are operating on this avatar, then it doesn't feel as happy. So having this conversation, especially prior to the summit, I think it's really powerful. And the fact then we could, I was not expecting that we are going to talk. And this is what I was telling you on off. Like, I love the way then energetic channels on this. Um, how can people work with you, and what kind of opportunities do you have? I don't like the offer of the word offers. I like the opportunities.
Oh,
What kind
yeah.
of opportunities
Um,
do you have for them to work with? Where do you start? Do you have a call? Do you have a product? Do you have?
yeah. Well, how people can work with me is I can do one-to-one coaching sessions.
Mhm.
I can do small pod sessions where they can get coaching with several other people in a small pod, usually about 3 people.
Okay.
Yeah, and what I'm also offering is an online program. So it's an online program with group coaching. So they get all the elements of learning, addressing their root causes, all the different elements of it, and they get to build that support community, which is really vitally important
It's
because,
it's
oh, you know this.
gold. I know that because if you, I know that because yes, I sell places on my summits and I sell places on this and that. Oh, and we will even have in person in Alicante, but that is another story.
Mhm.
But on reality, why my people stay with us, because it's not about me, it's about us, is because of the community.
Yeah.
Now more than never, people are alone, and we women 40 plus, it's a lonely journey, even if you worse. not worse, I don't like that word, but gets more challenge if you want to build a business or if you want to do successfully something, in special in this change of your life. Where is everything going on? Your hormones, your life, you don't feel the same, you don't look the same, you
Mhm.
have this expectation. So you want to be in community, 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 community. For me, community is the business of this century
Yeah,
because from one side we are very lonely. For another side, the feeling of coming together with like-minded people, and people who are going through the same journey. I was going to say struggle. I'm picking and choosing my words. Um, they can uplift each other. So well done for you. If I was giving you any advice from my own perspective, that is one of them. And as well knowing that is such a safe place because everyone is struggling with the same thing and feeling that you are not alone on this journey and you can talk and share. Sometimes you just need to talk and share. And many of us don't feel comfortable talking about their weight or they don't feel comfortable even like talking um, to ourselves about it or journaling about it. We don't want to see it and it keeps piling. So,
absolutely. That's the thing, because food and weight issues are so intimate and tied up in so many personal things. A lot of people, as soon as I say community, group, they're like, no,
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 no, no.
no, not going there. I'm not telling everyone what I do behind closed doors and how I eat and how I secret eat and how I all the things that I do that I'm ashamed of, like I did.
Yeah,
And
I know. And then I was going there, like, that is your journey. Like, but at the same time, I don't know. I just believe then if we share what we, not necessarily the most deep, 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 deep secrets, but that kind of secrets, and we can share them to people who can understand. There is a on the reason why I'm telling all of this and I'm using all my personal experiences because point one, that is my brand value, is the more honest and raw. Like if someone tells me you are fat right now because they're used to see me, I will know that I can understand their point of view because I remember how I was some years ago. But I don't allow it to affect me because I naturally talk about that. And I did never until this moment, but it's just that is the weight. Then you, if you have a place to release that weight, I always tell a story. I was famous 20 years ago in Portugal, and at the same time, I was full of debt. Don't try to understand. Long story. And I was being blackmailed, telling they're going to the press, they are going to share then my debts. And I was living in fear until, as I don't know what that went through my mind. I was having this campaign for Whiskas, Whiskas for the food of cat food.
yeah,
And I had this journalist talking with me about whiskers, and I, out of my mouth, told then, oh yeah, I lost my company. I'm full of debt. Yes, I'm famous, but I'm low in cash, and and that was on a cover of a magazine, and all the people who are blackmailing me lost the power
yeah,
because I told it,
yes,
and this is how everyone should build their brands is talking about the things that you don't want anyone to come and talk to you. Be honest, even be honest with you. Because if
yeah,
you are not honest with you about the quantity you are eating, about the alcohol that you are drinking, about the drugs that you are taking, you name it,
yeah,
you cannot solve it.
yeah. So true. It starts with being honest with yourself and finding a safe place to be honest with other people.
Yeah.
And, it really does. And I love what you did. That must have been so tough, but I love what you did because you took back the power. You took back the power from the people that were blackmailing you to say they had nothing on you then because you were open, you were honest. And that's what I found with the food. The food had no power over me and has no power over me as long as I'm honest, as long as there's no more secrets, no more secret eating. It's out there. I'm honest with everybody about what I do. The shame is gone, and I just want to release other people from their shame as well. Let them know there is no shame. It's not real, you
Um,
know?
I am I am only gratitude in this moment, not only for me and you, but for whatever people who are watching this. And it's so easy for people to think that I am this badass person. And I am, don't take me wrong, but um I think what makes me more cool is exactly bringing the things that I'm not so proud to the top of the table because of that. And I always tell, everyone tells, oh, you are so vulnerable, and that makes people resonate with you. Yeah, because of that story. Because
Yeah.
I learn, and and now going to social media is like everyone is want to show a perfect life. Everyone wants to show how perfect their business is. I tell then I did want to make 10K per month a lot of time, and I forced myself with no why. I did not need it, but I just did want it because everyone was telling. And guess what? I did, I believe, 17,000. And the next month, I was on the ground, not able to sell anything. So I talk about these things because I think this is important. We need to be realistic. Perfection is fear in another outfit.
Yes.
So this is what is for me women manifesting dreams. And you are for sure helping these women feeling back or even better than ever
Oh, thank you.
to live their lives. So
Thank you.
on my end, I'm, I'm a crier. Thank
Oh,
you.
you're making me go as well. I think just what we're talking about is just so important. It's just so important. And that people hear that they're not alone with this, they're not alone with their shame or their fears, and to find a safe way to share that and release it, because then it takes away the fear and it takes away the shame.
100%. So how can people find you online? I'm sharing your links, but
Yeah, share my links. So really, people can email me if you just want sort of semi-old-fashioned email. You can get me at helen@transformationfreedom.com, helen@transformationfreedom.com. But I also have an online Facebook group. It's private, but it's visible, so you will be able to find it. And it's Forever Food and Weight Freedom Community with Helen Gormley. But I've give you the link. Please feel free to share it with everybody. And it really is a safe place for people with common issues to come together and support each other. And I just that's just my fun and for free group, just to help people out and to provide service to people having been through it myself. Thank you so much.
I'm
Thank
going
you.
to bite you in a second. I'm going to
No.
bite these people first. Again, wow. Um, I really believe, I really believe, um, in doing this podcast experience, many people feel so happy to be invited and come along. But on the end, I am very, very, very happy because I'm very lucky on the people that I have the opportunity to chat with. For you watching this, join Ellen group, come to our wolf pack sisterhood. Um, we have a lot to dream, and it's not the end, it's only the beginning. Keep living your dream and make it happen. My name is Rita Valente. I am your host. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.